Welcome to Time Between Times storytelling with me, Owen Staton. I've been thinking this week about something that happened quite a few years ago. When I used to work in the town of Brecon, I would often drive into the town late at night, coming back to my place of work. And as you entered the town, there was a house on the left-hand side. And every single time I passed that house, there was a shadow at the front of the door that looked like a man in a cape. And no matter how many times I passed, it would always take me by surprise. And I would always feel a sense of foreboding as I did so. It's funny how places retain a memory, retain something from the other world. And today's story is about exactly that. So join me once again at the time between times, the time when it is neither night nor day, but the sun has gone and the sky is grey. The time when the veil between our world and the fairy world grows wafer thin. So thin that for just a few moments you can reach out into the fairy realm, and for a few moments they can reach out into our realm. Now is the time that people see ghosts. Now is the time that people see lights in the sky. Now is the time that these presences around objects make their appearance. Now is the time of the Devil's Tree. On the Rose Road out of Llandudno, there is an old gnarly oak. It has been there for hundreds of years. An old reverend from the 17th century once remarked that the old oak had a presence about it, that whenever he rode his horse near to the tree, the horse would rear up. So convinced was he of this, that one day he took a friend, and they made their way down the old Rose Road until they came to the oak, which was just off the road, but 100 yards, on its own, in an old rocky clearing. The tree was bent and broken, but strong and true. Within its trunk and its branches were so many shapes and images that the imagination would run wild when you would see it. And on this day, when the Reverend and his friend rode up to the tree, both horses reared up suddenly. They were lucky not to fall to the floor. Neither horse would approach the tree. And after a little while, they rode away, with shivers down their back, knowing that there was something about that tree which could not be explained. A little while after, a local tinker called Cadwallader Williams was travelling along the Rose Road. He had had a few drinks. He had heard of the Devil's Tree. He had seen it from afar. He knew that it looked like the Lord of the Forest, but he did not believe the tales. He walked up to the tree until his whole vision was taken in shadow by this great monstrosity in the forest, and called out, do your worst, Devil's Tree. You are nothing but a tree in a forest. I could take an axe and cut you down right now." Suddenly, the air was filled with brimstone. Suddenly, something seemed to drop from the higher branches of the tree and landed on Cadwallader's shoulders. It was heavy, it was damp, it was furry. It smelt of brimstone, and it whispered in his ear, "How dare you insult me? I am Lord of the Forest. I am Lord of the caves, the rocks, the sky, the trees. They all belong to me." Cadwallader could not dislodge this thing that he could not see but could feel and smell and hear. He pulled at it, tried to dislodge it from his throat, but could not do so. He stumbled and rocked and made his way up the path to the small village of Towyn not far away, and hammered on the door of his friend. When the door was opened, Cadwaladr was found outside upon the floor, his face purple from a lack of air and great scorch marks around his neck. Terrified, for a week he could do nothing but bumble and mumble. He had nothing to say, for his mind was broken by a terror, and it was only after many months could he recant the tale of the Devil's Tree. Hundreds of years have passed since then. Many moons have flown through the sky, and time between times without count. But the tree still stands on the old Ross Road outside of Llandudno. Just a few scant years ago, a traveller parked their car nearby, looking to have a good look at the tree. They closed their car door with a clunk and approached the tree with a camera. And as they did so, shadowy shapes seemed to escape from the trunk itself and run out into the forest. Even though it was a summer's night, the sky had been strong and warm all day, they felt a darkness and a coldness about that tree that could not be explained. It was almost like there was winter amongst the summer itself. As they turned and went back to their car, a shape moved out from the side of the tree and rushed off into the forest, dark, and suddenly the air smelt of brimstone once more. The Devil's Tree, a dark, horrible place. No one knows why it is that way, why that tree in the dark part of the forest is different from any other. Its roots lie out of the ground, easily to trip on, and to place your hand upon its trunk is to feel as if ice itself had formed in a forest. I wonder if any of you have come across such places, places that retain a feeling of evil that has lasted for many, many years. Every time I tell this tale, more people come forward with their own experiences of the Devil's Tree. To look upon it is to look upon some creature from beyond that has manifested itself in wood, its branches twisted. The leaves never linger for long upon them, and are quick to fall away into the forest as if they wish to escape the tree itself. Do you know anyone who has been there? Is there something you have come across of a similar nature? Please let me know in the comments below. The time between times can sometimes terrify you, but know it's a place of wonder where we can sit and enjoy tales traditionally told. Every week I release a new video, and there are many upon this channel once more, and I thank you all for listening week in, week out. There are many ways in which you can listen to more tales of strange and mysterious Wales. I now have a podcast, the Time Between Times podcast, which also is released every week and contains a tale. You could buy me a coffee at ko-fi.com/Owen Staton. I will put it in the notes below. And also, there is now Time Between Times merchandise. And I am amazed how many people have ordered these products with a beautiful design by Sandra Evans upon them. T-shirts, mugs, etc. I will also put a link below, and everyone who supports me, I am really, really grateful for. Christmas is coming. No better time is there to gather at the fire pit and listen to tales of ghosts and spirits at Tylwyth Teg and the Devil Tree on the Ross Road at Llandudno. If you are ever passing that way, take a photograph, because many people have. And when they've looked back, there seems to be something else around that tree. Something else, looking to find its home within its trunk, looking to escape from the glare of the camera. Who knows what it can be? But for you and me, it's the tale of the Devil Devil's Tree. No star.